Good evening. It's April 5th, and we had some bad starting today again, and I'm sick as fuck. Language. So I'm coughing and I'm sneezing and things like that, so I probably have to put my microphone a little bit to the side whenever I'm coughing, but because I don't have a cough button yet. Should have fixed that already, but apparently I never used it before. So let's go to the code window to at least make my face a little bit smaller on screen. Oh, that's much better, but we need this screen there. Yeah, last week was the week of the MVP summit, so that's the internal summit for Microsoft MVPs, where we get inside information from Microsoft of products what is coming up in the next year or so. So some things don't even will be released ever, but they at least try to do that. And they are telling us about it, what the plans are and what they're thinking of where they go. But it's all under NDA, so I can't tell anything about it. I've seen some interesting things that you might like seeing, but yeah, sorry, I can't tell anything about it. So whenever it's getting into beta, public beta, then we are going to discuss things. A lot of it can be discussed anyway, because it's, especially with the languages team, it's much of it is already in the open source in GitHub. There's a roadmap over there. You can go into that and have a look at what is coming up and what they are planning to do. So not everything is a surprise anymore. On the Office side, there's much more things hidden, and Windows is even worse. That's almost like the Sinovsky period, where you don't get anything shown until it's released. So we are nothing special in that respect. Let's have a look at the code window, Visual Studio. As I said, I'm terribly sick and I have some sort of a flu or something that's not Corona. I've tested it and it's not Corona. But it certainly looks like it, feels like it, but the symptoms are almost same, sneezing and coughing. But I still do have my taste. That is my taste of tasting things, not my taste of putting a value on things. Let's go into the authentication with client-side Blazor website. I think that's the one that we were working on last time. I have two of these. This is 24, so yes, that should be the latest one. Let's open that. I guess there's also a new version of Visual Studio, but we're not going to install that if that's the case. Oh, and I put it on GitHub last when we finished it, last stream. Not the last stream, the one before that. Let's go to GitHub and have a look. Probably will end a little bit early today because of my condition. I need some good sleep. Or at least not stay up until mid of the night. C# Fritz, my first static website. That's also today. Oh, that's interesting. 15 minutes ago. Is he live at this time? I don't see it anywhere. I think one line is live. it live. He's also doing Blazor stuff. Where's my mouse? It's the downside of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens, is that you lost your mouse. Shout out to One Lion. Do I need to put an ad in front of it? Yeah, that's working, apparently. Let's see, what did we do? I think it's this one, authentication with client-side Blazor. We can try it and just clone it to see if it's working. Oh, it's the one branch. Yeah, that's the branch, it's not a specific branch. Let's clone this. Copy that. Make a folder. See data repos. And let's make a directory in here. 2022 0405. That's today. Go to command prompt and then paste the clone in. Oh, and there's also an updated version from GitHub. Let's put it in my in notes to make sure that I updated that for next time. Update github.cli to do. I should put it in my normal to-do list, but let's see what's in the outlet. And I'm typing this listed directory in my notepad and not in here. See the authentication with client-side Blazor. Authentication. Let's see if it's starting without problems. Let's close this one. Failed to restore? What? Unable to find project C data repo 5 client-side Blazor test auth shared. It's in there. Okay, so did no one of you guys test this while this was on GitHub? It's also complaining about this one. It's missing, it looks like it's missing a reference. Let's check the properties there. And it's also a multiple start project where both the client should start and the server should start. And we have project dependencies where the server is based on shared and the client is also based on shared and on the server. Let's apply that. Okay. Let's build that and see if it's still complaining. Unable to find a project. Authentication with client-side Blazor. Test client auth shared. That's this one, excuse me. Check that the project reference is valid and the project still exists. Let's see what is the dependency of this one. I think this is not right. Add project reference. Pointing to two things: the shared test auth shared and test auth shared. It's twice the same. Let's have a look at the project here. This is doesn't look right. Let's have a look at the folder structure there. Test client auth, there's a shared, so it should be from server, that's the project, going one up, going shared, that should be it. I think this one should be enough. Load project and then load it again. Then this one. Ignored. Why is that ignored? Add reference, project reference, server, I think. Let's see what is the difference. This was the original. This is the new one. It's not called shared, is it? It is called shared. So that should be good. The other one. to save that first. So we don't need server there. I think it should be like this. Let's try to build that. Oh, that's not what I expected. Let's try to build that. Yes, enable the AI thing. Did it build? I think so. Let's run this and see if that's working. Oh, and I also see that my follow goal should be fixed. Because the month shifted already to April, and that's the goal ended 5 days ago. API is working. And it's still logged in. Apparently the cookies are still active. What, in the database as well? How's the database still active? Oh, because it's using the local SQL version. Let's see if I can remember the user that I created. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. Did I submit? Oh. It did log in, but why did it fail? Login. Jake at Docus. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. Submit. That's not working. And what's going on here? Value cannot be null. Parameter URI. Okay. So the redirect is missing. That's a bug in the system because I think when I close this, log out, and I go to fetch data. Let's reload this first. If you go to fetch data, then the URL will return. Now there is Jake at docus.nl. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. Submit. Now it's working because now it went back to the fetch data page. If I do the same thing with the home page and then try to log in, there's no URL data there. So that's a bug in the system. Solution Explorer. So the redirect is failing. Login. I think the login. The return URL. So when the URL is not supplied, let's try something simple. Where's the navigation? Shared. Navigation. If it's not supplied, it should go home. Can we just say if there's nothing in there? Empty. Then it's navigating to nothing. But will that fail? No code changes were found. Let's stop this. And run again. This week, Fanny Reinders, my previous co-host for the SDN cast, was also online. He started live streaming again, and hopefully he will stream some more over the upcoming time. So let's give him a shout out at Fanny Reinders. Let's see if that's working. Let's also check if he's online or not. I think he's not. He did stream yesterday. Was it yesterday? Okay. Monday, checking out .NET 7. He was showing some things about WASI, not so much WASM, but WASI. And yeah, we need to have a look at that more. Oh, he's hosting me, I think. Thanks for that. Cool. So that's Fanny Reinders. Go and follow his page if you are interested in more Blazor stuff, just like what One Lion is doing. Let's try this again. Login. Jake at docus. .nl test 1, 2, 3, 4 bang. That's failing because it's probably not able to navigate to nothing. Let's do Ctrl-Shift-I. That cannot be null. How is that still null? And what's the page trying to load? The client. Raise a login. Let's see if we can put a break somewhere. I would think handle login. Maybe it already fails if this is not if this is null. Otherwise, it will use this somewhere else in here. Let's try that again. Once more. Home. Let's reload. Log out. Log in. There's no return URL there. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. It's now breaking, but now this is why is this null? Because it's getting in the query anyway, I think. So it's overruling the string empty. So whenever this is null, it should go back to home. So what if I skip this? Set next statement. That's not possible. Step over. F10. Yeah, that's failing. Let's go back to the code there. If return URL, is that a string? Yes. String is null or empty. Return URL. If not is empty. Let's see what happens if we just skip it. Skip it, boys. So how are you doing today? Are you enjoying the day just like me? Being sick and all? Log out and log in. Jake at docus.nl. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. Run. Now it logged in, but it did not redirect to the right homepage. The Neo. How are you today? You're using a different name again. So it should go home instead. Let's go in here. And then if it's null or empty, else it should go home. new Blazor project. I said, well, it's a side step because I wanted to put in some security, and to do that I isolated that part. Let's see. If I do the fetch data, then we probably had a redirect page. Return URL. Let's see where that's used. Blazor. Oh, if it's not authorized. That's interesting because you only get this when the page is not authorized. If you do have an authorized page, it's not redirecting to the page. That's interesting. So for all authorized pages, you don't want to need to do extra work, but I feel so lazy. Well, I'm feeling sick. I have some sort of a flu or whatever. My nose is full and I have a headache and I'm coughing my lungs out. So I should actually not live stream today, but it's already a week between last time because we had an MVP summit last week. So I skipped 2 streams last week as well. So I wanted to go online and keep up with where we left off. Basically, I want to put the URL, return URL always in. Even if it's not authorized. That's tricky. I did do a COVID test. Obviously, I did a COVID test, but it was not COVID, and that's what we see a lot here in the Netherlands at this time, where it's just some sort of flu or whatever. I haven't had a flu in 2 years or nothing like that. But the COVID test showed it was negative. No COVID. Or it's a new variant, obviously, that is not recognized by the COVID test. That's also an option, obviously, but then probably a lot of people have that issue. At least I decided not to go to the office tomorrow because you never know what's happening. And if you are sick, you should not go to the office and avoid contact with all your colleagues and things like that. So usually when you showing the login display, that's the one on top. It's giving that href. Oh, I need to think about that because basically you want to go have it going back to the page that it's triggered from. So if I go in here, it should go back to home. But if I go to counter, and you go to login, then it should return to counter. So that's tricky. But for now, let's fix it and make sure that it's, at least it's not breaking, because that's what it's doing now. Let's have a look at the this one and return, make this return to backslash maybe. Why is that not allowed? Like that then. Let's see if that's doing it. Login. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. Let's have it breaking at this place. We did go in there. Login. Jake at docus.nl test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. Oh, now I don't know which one it picked. Let's still restart it completely from scratch. 5. Because I don't know if it picked up the change. Log out. Docus.nl test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. F10. F10. Yes. Yeah, then it doesn't go back to the counter, but at least it's now logged in and I should be able to fetch the data. Yes, it can. Otherwise, if you go fetch the data, then you have to log in again. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. Let's see what it's doing if we fail the test. What should we put in there? Kristen at docus.nl. It doesn't exist. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. Yes, that's correct. Jake. Remove the break. And that worked. There's a little smiley over there. Apparently had a funny day when putting that in. About. Going back to Blazor. Cool. That works. Now I wonder. I need to have a look at the changes here because the checkout did not work. The clone did not work properly. So let's have a look at the changes there. And now this one is changed again. Oh, that's this was the error in the original that we had to remove in there. So let's check this in and fixed project dependency. And login redirect. Commit all and sync. I don't think I have built a thing on this action. Is it? No, there's no action on this. Good. Now let's try again. Let's close all of this. I'll make a new folder over here. (2022-04-1). No, that's not right. I said 04-05. That's today, eh? Yeah. And go back in here. Refresh. Changed. Copy this again. CMD. Paste. Let's go into, let's just start authentication solution. Where's my blowing nose icon? There. That's not showing. Okay. Let's see if this was running. This is now good. But the startup did not save, I think. Properties. Multiple startup. Client. start and server start. Dependencies, that's still okay. Okay, let's run it now from scratch. Let's quickly blow my nose. Not sure if that helped, but let's fade back. At least I have some air again. Login. Jake at Docus. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. That's it. Fetch data. That's working. Good. That's a clean download. Clean clone. Clean clone. That sounds strange. Clean clone. Let's quickly fix the follower thing. Let's duplicate this tab. Duplicate tab. So I can bring that on the other screen. So I'm showing my kitchen insights, streaming tools, overlay gallery, my overlays. Let's edit follower account. Follower account, settings. That should end on April 30. That's already fixed. 25 days. Save that. And put this back where it belonged. Over there. So now refresh the page. Oh, it's already refreshed. Ends in 25 days. That's good. I think that's there. Oh, let's go behind the screen. Ends in 25 days. What a mess today. That finished. Exit. So let's have a look at the client here. Is the client, is that really a client side? Local storage. terrible, this coughing. I really need a mute button. But I need to reorg my audio routing. I was thinking of buying the beacon, what's it called? Beacon Create Mix. Mix Create, that's called Mix Create. But it's never available. Sold out and sold out. Basically what this is doing is doing the same thing as I have in my stream. Like this. But I need to separate my desktop audio from my mixer, from my microphone, to do the same thing. And that's a challenge. I should be able to just add the audio for desktop. Something like this. Audio jungle, audio input. That's my mixer. So the desktop audio is not showing here. vmix desktop audio as a source. I already used this, but then it's used as headphone. That indeed is the one. But I don't want the audio from the master going into the desktop. It's always tricky to do this routing properly. If you do that offline. this is not available. Sold out. It's a nice device, but it still doesn't have an input for my XLR microphone. Just an USB to connect to the computer. But if that's the case, then I probably can also use the audio thing over there. This one. Oh, now I closed it. It's on my other screen again. So what I wanted to test is if we can, instead of using the server with local SQL Server, if we could do the same thing with SQLite. Also, we need to check what the authentication is in here. It should be overruled by the security key in Azure if you run it in Azure. So let's open the other project where I use SQLite. Soft is in software. Because we have a service in here as well, API. In this case, it's using this. DB context. Same thing as here. Let's make this a bit smaller. Let's have a look at this. If we put this in the other one. That's the create builder. Then we should add this one in. Oh, cleared my copy buffer again. Copy. And I need to blow my nose again. How great is that? Live streaming when you're sick. In this case, it's called application DB context. Interesting, that's options action. So use SQLite. Yeah, we need to bring in SQLite and the component. So we have in here manage NuGet packages, NuGet packages, NuGet. We're using framework core SQLite, and in the other one we use NuGet packages. What's it called in the other one? SQLite. Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQLite. Microsoft Entity Framework Core. Oh. SQLite. Let's install that. DB context option builder does not contain a definition for use SQLite. That's in here. And now it is. Now have a look at options action. Oh, why is that? Yeah, because we need to open this one and then that one. Oh, and then we probably have one finishing over here. Too much. Yes. Is it actually looking the same? Build our configuration, get connection string, default connection. Yes. Let's take that out of business. Let's see if that's working. Identity user. Authentication, that should be the same. Swagger. Course. Build. Use Swagger. So where is it building the database? I think the building the database is done manually using migrations. Is that true? Let's go to the README file. Have a look at the link. There, introduction, WebAssembly, setting up the identity database, identity DB context, configuration, configuration services. Yeah, that's no longer valid anymore because it's using .NET 6 in my case. Set up the database, it should do that's already done, created. Now we need to do run update database. Let's see if we can do that. This one. Tools, command line. Developer command prompt, I think. Or do we need PowerShell for that? Do. We're now in a position to create the initial migration in the package manager console. Package manager console, run the following command. Package manager console. That's this one. That's basically PowerShell. Oh. So we already created that. Now we do update database. Update database. Oh, now we need to fix the connection string as well. Let's have a look at this one. Connection string. App settings. Copy. In here. Let's remove the SQL one. Local. So if this is software, this should be called something else, like test client auth. Test client auth. Let's do it like that. Why is there a comma in there? There's no comma in here. Like that. Update database. It's not recognized. Update dash database. Let's see if that's working. Oops. Yeah, so let's have a look. That's the server data. We have a database now. Let's kill that. Let's start with the other command. create identity schema. Maybe that's related to SQL. If we kill the because this is probably using SQL Server. Let's kill that. Now let's try this. Copy. Maybe it's just not working on SQLite, but to undo this action, use remove migration. We should now have a new migration there. Let's try to run the update database again. I did throw out the database already, I think. Build succeeded. See, it's doing something different on SQLite. Very interesting. So now let's see if we run this. Let's quickly have a look on the commands here. If there's some identification on SQLite. Yes, there is. Okay, let's run this. Interesting that it's finding that it was logged in, although it's not using the database. Log in. Yeah, that should fail indeed because it does not exist. So let's register this. Jake at docus.nl says test 1 2 3 4 bang. Test 1 2 3 4 bang. Submit. Now I have to log in. Jake at docus.nl test 1 2 3 4 bang. And it's working. And we are allowed to fetch data. And to prove this, we need to throw out the database, I think on the local server. Let's try doing that. Let's enable the AI again. SQL Server. That's a local version, I think. And that should have some tables in there, databases. Authentication. Let's see what's in there. Tables. We have some system tables and users. View data. We have 1 2 3 4 items. Let's close that and then just delete this database. Delete. Delete backup or restore history information for the database. Yes. Close existing connections. Yes. Good. Not sure what's in here. Tables. I think this is another demo. Nothing. It's just failing. Oh, what was that? I don't know. I clicked something, but I'm not sure what. Refresh. Tables again. I think that's not working. No. Well, never mind. It's a different project, and we don't need that. Excuse me. Well, if this is all we need, let's run it again and see if it's still working. Log off, log in. Jake at docus.nl. 2, 3, 4, bang. I'm losing my voice here. It's lucky that it's still very cold in here, so the snowman up there is still there. I think next week it's getting warmer. Starting to get Easter. Still works, but now we are on SQLite, so it's actually working. And as I said, my voice is dropping. So let's clean up the code a little bit. Well, welcome. Goshinki OP. Goshinki OP. Okay. YouTube. Are you on YouTube? Well, that's nice. What's on YouTube? Let's do that in my VM. Because if you put crap in there, YouTube, you put a polka in there. I don't want to block my... Oh, no, no. You want to lock my my music, what's it called? Goshinki. My stream music block, what's it called? The musical rights if I play things like that. Thanks for the follow anyway. I always like followers, no matter what. And I will look at your link. Yeah, not sure it is. I don't want to risk it. DMCA. Free. At least the music from Harris Heller, what you can currently hear, is at least risk-free. It's not on your channel. Why is it not? Why? So why are you sharing it then? Because it's funny music? Let's go here and see what we changed here. Yeah, the migrations was changed obviously, and we created a database, and we want to exclude that from deploying. Let's check what's in here. It's changed the SQLite package. Well, it did not change it, but it was adding it. It also put in the data migrations folder. That's interesting. Programs. That's probably the change for the database itself, the SQL Server part. Yeah, that's the only thing. So we need to put some comment in there. That's the server. And comment if you want to use this repo, the repo on your local SQL Server instance instead of SQLite. Uncomment this if you, well, you should be commenting this if you want to use this repo on your local SQL Server instead of SQLite. Same thing goes for the app settings. SQLite. If you are SQLite using SQLite on Azure, that's the other option. Then we have the option to use SQL. Do you have a channel, by the way? Goshinki OP? YouTube channel, maybe. It's SQL Server local DB. Yep. That's basically it, and you obviously also need to put a random key in your Azure security environment to seed your database, And also put some information of this in there as well. Let's see the data. Build action, do not copy. Do not copy, do not copy. And is that also excluded from the GitHub thing? Because that's probably in here. Ignore this local item. Ignore this local item. And ignore this local item. How's that done in this thing? Yeah, that's also excluded. So this has this stop sign in front of it. Is that also in here? Yes. Nice. And we need to put something in the README file, I think. Where's the README file? There's no README file in here. Where is it in the folder? It's not in there, it's in here. Okay. Add an existing item. What? Is this the other project? Oh, it's the other project. That's not what you wanted. Can we just undo this? No. Let's go in here, do the same thing. Is it here maybe? Oh, it's in there. Good. This project can make this solution run on SQLite or SQL Server to switch, comment, uncomment the proper sections in, what's it called? Program.cs. Program.cs. Oh. Program.cs. Server and app settings. initialize databases. Not sure if you need to use both commands. Did we close that window? Where is it here? Migration is already there. And update database. I don't think we need this, because that's creating the what we do. After switching. Initialize database after switching. Delete the migrations, as this contains database specific instructions for either SQLite or SQL Server. Generate the right migration files by running create, oh, why is it putting quotes on it? Create databases. That should be it. Some migrations. Readme, git ignore, that's adding the database things, I think. Yes. I expected this to do this in the migrations folder, but I'm not sure why it's not doing that, because maybe I might my thingy is not right. Oh, this one is pointing to the data folder, not migrations folder. Okay, let's commit all of this. Added option to run on SQLite instead of SQL Server. Let's commit all this and sync. Save. And then try it again in a new folder by cloning it again, because previously you guys did not test what I built there. Go in here, back to GitHub. Client-side Blazor. We now have an updated text. Maybe you should add some header information in there, because it's a bit hard to read now, but let's first see if it's working. Let's see, there's no database, should be no database in here. Data, there's migrations, in this case for SQLite. Let's clone this. Clone this again, go in here. New folder 2022-04-05-2. CMD. Paste the clone in. Go to auth. Yes. Open the solution. Let's close the other one. Both. This I want to revert back. Okay. Open the Visual Studio project that we just committed to GitHub. So this should be running on local SQLite once we do all the commands. So Solution Explorer, if we go into Solution and we make it multi-startup, properties, it should start up the both client. Let's make that multiple. Start client and start server, and then we have the project dependencies. That should be good. Now then we have to open the README here. We did not switch the database, so this one is no longer needed. It's not needed, but we do need this one to create a database in the data folder. There's no database in here now. The migrations are still in there. So go to the package manager console and then wait for it to initialize, and then do the update database. That should generate the SQLite databases for authentication. You see all the SQL commands running by. Now we should have some databases in there. There it is. If we run this, we automatically should have a running project. Solution, I should say. loading. And now it's still using, I think, one of the keys, not the keys, the tokens. But if we now do login, that should fail. Jake at docus.nl 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. This will fail. Yes, because we have a new database. Let's register one. Jake at docus.nl test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. And now we have to log in. Jake at docus.nl test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. And let's see if we can get in now. Yes, now let's log out and go to the fetch data page. That's blocked by default because we did not register yet, log in yet. So if we go into Jake at docus.nl, we do test 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. And now we have data. So this is actually working. And now we have, you see that we are logged in under this account. This is not secured, so that should be running all the time. So that's working on SQLite. You should be able to see that in the project here. Solution Explorer. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Solution Explorer, there you are. That's now running into this database that's not deployed. And why is this not blocked? Is that showing in here? No, it's not. So that's good. I'm not sure why it's not giving the stop sign there. So we have now two options. One for SQLite and SQL Server. To protect you, to lock your application from Blazor client side. And I wanted to check if the client is actually running as a client. Local storage. Let's see what's in the output folder for this. Folder, file exploder, bin folder, debug. There's a lot of stuff in there. All these system file thingies. We need to check if that's what do we need to have only a WASM file. As output, because I think if we check this, Ctrl+Shift+I, load resources server responded with a forbidden thingy. 2 elements with non-unique password. Interesting. Create amazing password forms. Web browsers. Autocomplete. This is giving some instructions, I think, how to build your login screens properly. Let's see if we can see what's in here. That's a GAS file. That's the framework. There's the WASM. think this created the WASM. Let's see what the network is doing. Refresh. Ah, why is it switching over? Browser link. That's for the server, I think. Oh. Darn it. Why is it switching over from my network? I don't want to do that. Browser link, hot reload. Yeah, I need to check if I need to do some research on how to see if it's actually a WASM file, one file. That's WASM. Not sure what this is, but we'll check later when I recovered from this. At least I think it's fully working as SQLite environment. So that's cool. That's basically the goal that we had for today. And then I need to bring this into my other project, like for my website, software.com. Where I want to put some things behind a login information to set a schedule, for instance, because that's now just pointed to my Twitch schedule. You can see there, if you go there, that it's set for today. And for some reason I started late because we had a camera failure. And obviously because I'm sick as everyone else. Not COVID, it's not related to COVID, but it's a flu or something, I don't know. So, but that's something I want to bring in here as well. There's my gear list. That is has only a small part. I think Elgato has some new devices for the CamLink. Announced today, not the CamLink. Let's have a look at Elgato. Where's Elgato? Come on, stop that picture. Let's see if the new one is on there as well. Elgato. New capture card. This one. No, it is not that one. It should be something called X. Something with X. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, let's accept all the cookies. Sure. This one is now priced $199, the same price that used to be on the HD60S Plus. I think I have the HD60S somewhere. I don't know. So what happens with the PC card? Is this a Pro that's also retired, I think? Or is that, was it the other one? That's probably a lower end. Let's see what the announcement is. This is called the HD60X. Elgato HD60 X announced So which one is retired then? I think the S. End of life. Time to replace the HD60. Now, yeah, it's now 120 on Amazon. Yeah, because they replaced it. It's dropping. They are dropping it. Cease production. Oh, yeah, that's 2018. It was Harris Heller who told that the two were disabled or retired. That's 21. I wonder what the other one was for the internal card. $460. Pro. So basically they stopped creating the two lower end cards, not cards. The one is card and the other one is the HD60S, not the S Plus. I think. And this one is new. Yeah, cool. But I'm using the cam link. I'm using the cam link. Where's the cam link? Cam link 4K. Oh, that's cam link Pro. Is that retired as well? Probably. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's wrap this up. Did we commit everything to? I think so. It's 0 in there. There's no need to do anything. Okay, let's stop debugging that. This is working properly. What I was telling is that I wanted to bring in security in this, like in the admin page over here. What's this music? Is that sound in the audio track? Sounds like a goat. I don't know. Good. Let's wrap it up. Yeah, I think we're not enough viewers at this time to do a raid. But anyway, let's wrap this up. Go to the main screen. So although I'm quite sick here, what's sick? I'm coughing and sneezing, and my head is full. But my goal was to try to refactor the code and to bring it into SQLite instead of SQL Server, and that succeeded, I think. So we have authentication on SQLite and on SQL Server. It's in my repo on GitHub. If you go to github.com, not sharing anymore, I see. github.com/aafvastm. Let's type that in the chat. HTTPS github.com/AAFVASTAM. There you should be able to find my, let's click on that to see if it's actually loading, and it is. So that's good. If you don't already do so, please subscribe on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/soft-as-a-software, or you just search for soft-as-a-software. Hit the subscribe button and bell if you want to be notified for my new streams. I will be back on this Thursday, but then we are focusing on Office development. Also in Blazor Office development, I will be creating a Blazor sample for the official Microsoft Office development repo. And so that will be one of my tasks for this Thursday. And next week I will be back and will continue adding the security part into the website. So thanks for watching, everyone. And let's see if we have an outro video. Bye bye.